This happens every single year. I promise you. I see people repeating information that someone scripted out for them, or they told them to say, or it was misinformation that they barely did halfway research on themselves, and then they spew it out to you as gospel. And then you go walking away believing it. Well, we're gonna address the 3 most common things I've seen this season, and if you hang around to the end, I'll give you a couple bonus ones too. Let's get it. Topic number 1. The first offense that I've been seeing is buy this fertilizer because it's going to help you crack the seed. Or you really need this fertilizer because it's really going to help with germination. And that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, it's a straight up lie. The only thing that you need for seed germination is moisture. Now, of course, when you're trying to establish a lawn, you're going to want moisture, seed to soil contact, adequate amount of sunlight. But the only thing you need to germinate seed is moisture. If you don't believe me, check out the many studies where people have been pre-germinating their seeds in their garage with no light or little to any light, with nothing but moisture. Or from a gardening realm, because you know, I dabble in the garden just a little bit. I pre-germinate seeds all the time. I take a paper towel, moisten it, put the seeds in there, close it up, throw it in the bag, let it sit in the shelf. Sometimes I put it on the windowsill. You don't need sunlight to germinate. You know why? Because the seed has everything it needs in it in order to germinate, other than moisture. That's it. There's no fertilizer out there that's gonna help with seed germination. Let's go ahead and dispel that claim right now. Get it straight for the record. All right. I think we beat that dead horse. Let's move on to the next one. Now, we got Halloween coming up. Get your bank cards ready, because I'm here to sell you some iron. Now, if you just completed a lawn renovation or an overseed this fall, and you're looking at your lawn and it doesn't quite look right, let me show you something. Before you go, getting your bank card out, swiping it, just hold on. Now this is my side plot. The side on the right I just did not even a month ago. This grass is brand new. Look at the difference in the color from the right into the left. Now I did overseed into this lawn, but it's the same seed that's on the left. Why the dramatic difference? Well, I'm gonna let my man Cam handle that for me. Get it.
What is going on, Turf? Man, that lawn over there is on fire. Man, you're doing your thing. So to talk about this topic of iron is not the solution to the color that you're looking for. All right, so let's think about this. A newborn, at first it doesn't display all of its genetic characteristics when it is first born, but as it matures and it starts to get older, those characteristics start to become on display. Your lawn is no different. It goes through the exact same process. As it comes up and it's getting established, it may not have the color that you're looking for. It may be a little lime green, light green in color, but that's where planting a quality seed comes into play. If you chose a quality seed with those genetic characteristics, that color will come and you won't have to worry about it and you won't have to chase it with products. But if you are impatient, I understand, and you have to put something down to get that color going sooner than when it wants to, what would I reach for? I would say that all iron products are not created equal. So you want to be looking for a chelated or a EDDHA form of iron source. Those sources of iron are readily available and soluble for the plant to uptake, which all forms of iron are not really available for the plant, therefore not giving you the best result that you're actually looking for in that color response. So these are my tips. That is my take on that. I actually have a full video talking about not using iron to chase color. We'll leave it linked here and you can go back and check that one out. So if you're striving to have those immaculate lawns or gardens, just know we work.
Listen, I apologize for I'm passionate about this stuff. I don't want to steer y'all wrong, man. I get passionate about it, and it really grinds my gears when people make it seem like you can't both enjoy what you're doing and be educated about it at the same time. I feel like that's a cop-out for people who do not want to push themselves to learn more about their hobby that they love so much. They start making all types of excuses, which we won't get into here. We're gonna move on to the next step, or the next topic, the next offense, as I see it. Let's go. Okay, so the next one you're gonna hear people tell you to do is just throw out more seed, or encourage you to just throw out more seed prematurely. And what I mean prematurely is, take my side plot for example. About 2 weeks ago, these spots right here were very weak. They were thin, look at them, pretty thin. And now fast forward 2 weeks later and look what's happened. Now there is some unique quality factors in this side plot that are pretty cool, and that's why I picked a seed like this, which is, it's a chewing fescue, perennial rye, and Kentucky bluegrass. So that grass spreads and it fills in and creeps, and it fills those gaps quite well. With that in mind, even if you're doing a straight perennial rye, turf type tall fescue blend, unless you get a complete washout, I wouldn't add too much seed too quick, too fast. And here's why. Not all seed germinates at the same time. You have early risers, late risers, and I promise you that if you followed the steps and got proper seed to soil contact, maintained adequate moisture, you'll be all right. Whether it was bare ground seeding or overseed renovation, it will buff out. You just have to be patient and give it time. Now, those same people that's trying to convince you to just go ahead and add some more seed, I want you to watch their lawns closely throughout the remainder of this season and next season, and I guarantee you, more than likely, they'll have issues. Overcrowding, overcompetition, fungus issues, because there's just not enough airflow coming through there. It's too tight. So this is the point where I tell you to trust the process, don't grow impatient, and just throw a little bit of Kentucky bluegrass in there if you're worried about it, you know? There's nothing wrong with KBG. KBG deserves his love too. All right, so you hung around this long. I got a couple extra bonus ones for you. I'm gonna make them quick so we can get up out of here. The first one is, you must aerate when you overseed or renovate. And that's just not the case. This couldn't be further from the truth. Everything I did here in Germany to my lawn was done without aeration. And I have clay-based soil. And that's another misnomer, but we're not gonna get into it, but clay soil does not mean your soil is compacted. It just doesn't. It takes a little bit of extra work. We'll cover a video on that. Let me know down below if you want it, but it's just not. So you do not have to aerate in order to have a successful full renovation or overseed. And the next lie, just flat out lie I've seen is, the fall nitrogen blitz is gonna replace a good overseed, bro. It's a lie. I don't know what they're smoking, but if your lawn is thin and it's had adequate die-off, there is no amount of nitrogen that's going to replace you getting that seed filled in, those spaces filled back in with some quality seed. It's a hat trick. They do them all the time. Pulling rabbits out the hats. But I need you to be able to discern from reality and what's just gonna make a cool video, okay? All right, well, that pretty much wraps this one up. I hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.